So if everyone can close their eyes, I'm going to set a little scenario here for you. Picture one person, or maybe even two, in your life that when you see them, you instantly smile. They bring joy to your day and are an absolute ray of positive light. Throw a thumb up in the air once we have that person in our mind. Let's open our eyes. All right, take that same person and I want you to write their name on that post-it there in front of you, or the note card in front of you. Once we have captured our person down on that note card, throw it up in the air for me. All right. Go ahead and put those down.
Rob, I thought you could actually throw it. I'm sorry.
Totally fine. We're going to keep it. It's totally fine. Don't worry about it. Each of us can identify at least one person in our life that we have seen spread positivity to us and those around them. And we've probably seen some viral acts of kindness that have hit the mainstream and have been everywhere. Has anyone heard of the Pay It Forward movement that happened down in Texas at Chick-fil-A? See some nodding hands. Yeah. One person's random act of kindness created a movement and made countless others' day even better. What we are going to do is we are going to stand up. We're going to find a group of three. I believe we'll have one group of two due to numbers, and we're going to identify our groups, and then we're going to grab a seat somewhere in the room. All right, let's move.
She said throw it in the air, so I was like, okay.
There we go to this side. Now that we are in our groups, let's take the next 30 seconds and identify one person who is going to act as our messenger for the duration of our activity. So let's do that. Once you identify that person, yell, got it?
Got it.
All right. If you are my messenger, if you will come to the front of the room, I have something for you. You're right here, so that works. Just start grabbing Post-it notes. Any color, as many as you want. Take a few yellows. There goes my speaker. Some purples here. And you can come up and grab more Post-it notes as we go on. So, what we will be doing is we are going to start posting these Post-it notes all over each other. We're going to jump up, we're going to mingle around the room and see how many Post-it notes we can post on our friends in the time span of 1 minute. So on the word Post-it, we will stand up, we will mingle around the room, and we will post as many Post-it notes on each other as we can. What questions do we have before we begin? Yes?
Does anything need to be written on them?
Nothing written on your Post-it notes. Thank you. What questions do we have? All right, let's post it. Hey, Trent. Feel free to come up and grab more Post-its if you run out. That's all good. Your hat. Your hat. Mine is right there. Take 15 more seconds. Come up and grab more Post-it notes if you ran out.
We can pull it on. Oh, this is my code.
Alright, let's be finishing up here in the next 5 seconds and head back to our seats. Alright, so we're all pretty colorful. We managed to cover the floor and my shoes, but that is totally okay. What if I told you that these Post-its represent something negative? So if we have a purple Post-it on us, this represents a comment that's been made on maybe our Instagram or Facebook or Twitter that wasn't too nice about our family. Or here, if we have a yellow Post-it, this represents a comment someone said making fun of our possessions, our clothes, our car, anything that we hold dear. These other colors also represent some form of negativity. It's easy to spread, it reaches everyone, and sometimes we don't even know how many or how much of an impact we're making on others, unfortunately. Even though these represent negative comments, we have the power to change those negative comments around and to create a viral epidemic of positivity. If you were the messenger here at the beginning of our activity and you came up and grabbed Post-its, raise your hand for me again. All right, that same person will come up and we're going to grab a stack of pink Post-its for our group. Be sure to hang on to our negative comment Post-it notes. We're going to be using those here in a little bit. Now what we all should do is take at least 3 pink Post-it notes and write a positive comment, an encouraging note, something that would bring joy to everyone's day. Because our goal at the end of this is everyone's going to leave here with at least 2 positive sticky notes. So on the word go, we're going to take about the next 45 seconds to write positive comments on our sticky notes. After those 45 seconds are up, we will wait for further instructions. What questions do we have?
Can we go get our pens from?
Absolutely. If you could grab a writing utensil, let's take a few seconds to do so. Once we've grabbed our pen or pencil, let's go ahead and take our 45 seconds to start writing our positive, encouraging comments.
Is this for like any specific or just like
In general, or if you want to make one specific for someone, that's totally fine. And you all are not limited to 3. If you want to spread even more joy, positivity, and kindness, please feel free to do so. If we need more time, say needed.
Needed.
All right, let's take another 25 seconds and be wrapping up our positive thoughts. If we need more time, say needed. All right, on the word move, what word?
Move.
Move. We will get up and we will begin spreading kindness like nobody's business. Be sure to make sure everyone has at least 1 to 2 pink sticky notes before we end. What questions do we have? All right, let's move. Very good. Alright, let's head back to our seats. Even though we have a lot of negativity here on the floor and scattered about, those pink pops of kindness definitely stand out and can help brighten anyone's day. What we are going to do on the word enough, we are going to gather all the negative post-it notes, all the negative comments that are scattered around the room. We're going to crumple them up and we're going to throw them towards the back corner of the room. What questions do we have?
Did you say we're gonna pick all of it up?
Yeah, we're gathering up all that negativity, all those nasty comments, and we're going to throw them back towards the trash can. And we'll see if we can make them the trash can. What questions do we have before we begin? All right, enough. Keep a hold of those positive ones. And stuff it in the back corner. No rhyme, no reason. Go as hard as you can.
Oh man, they said there's no other way. Mom was gonna go in. You made one in.
Did we get one? You want to go in?
Yeah, two.
Nice. Nice. Thanks for diving into that one. We're not quite done on our positive journey, just quite yet. So within our groups, we will journey, we will pick one poster up around the room, and once we are at our poster, we will stand and we will wait further instructions. What questions do we have before we move to our poster? Yes?
Any poster.
Any poster. All right.
Going in our group.
In the same groups we're in, yes. What questions do we have? All right, let's move. All right, before we can begin our positivity revolution, we have to work on our positivity. If we want to spread positivity to those around us, it's got to show from within us. So on our posters, we see a list of, instead of, so these are negative thoughts that oftentimes we catch ourselves thinking, or maybe even saying to ourselves or others. Our task is to try and think of a positive twist on those phrases that sometimes weigh us down. We will take the next 2 minutes to fill out the try thinking column on our posters. What questions do we have? Once our group has filled out that column, raise a hand up in the air and I will come with more instructions. All right, let's begin.
Before I give up, I'll do better next time. Yeah.
He was kind, he was soft, he was
Yes. You done? Okay. So what you do, if you will lift up the back of your flip sheet or tear sheet, you should see a lavender post-it note. You see it? All right, pull it down for me. Oh. And what question are you going to be presenting with us?
I just saw like the shower.
Number 3? All right, so hang on to the post-it. All right, same thing like at the last group. There should be a lavender post-it note on behind your tear sheet that will indicate which question you'll be sharing out loud with us. Question 1? All right. Are y'all good to share question 1? Thanks. Yes. Awesome job. Okay, so flip your tear sheet up for me and pull off that lavender sticky note. And what question will you share with us? Please share question number 1. Question 1? Is that cool, everyone? Yep. All right. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So here we go. Okay. All right, flip up your tear sheet and pull that off for me. What question are you sharing with us?
Number 2.
Number 2. Is that cool, y'all?
Sounds great.
All right. That's your favorite one? Perfect. Alright, now that everyone has filled out their column, hold up your lavender sticky note for me. This indicates what question you'll be sharing out loud with the group. Is everyone still cool to share that one? Alright, let's start down here.
Alright, so we are sharing question number 2, which is I give up. And I said I can learn. Connor said I'll do better next time. I think one of the key things with giving up is that instead of like giving up because it's presumably failure or just something happens that gets an obstacle in your way, instead of giving up, learning from that and trying to figure out your best way to come back and to keep trying and have perseverance. And so that's something that really resonated with me.
Absolutely. Thanks for elaborating on that question. We're going to give Benton and our group here a giant power clap for their awesome answer on 3. So does everyone know what a power clap is? All right, let's try it together on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Awesome job. Moving right along.
Alright, so we are sharing question 1, and it says, I can't make this any better, but we said I can make a difference. So whenever you change your mindset, your negative energy can turn into positivity. As long as you believe in yourself, you can do whatever you want.
Absolutely. Thank you all for sharing. Same thing we did with group 1. We're going to give a power clap on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Our next group.
Alright, so our thing was, instead of I can't make this any better, we said this will get better. And so we wanted to turn that around and make sure that we were saying positive and thinking that we can get this done instead of it won't get done at all.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing. Let's give a power clap on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And last, but definitely not least, what question are you all sharing out with us?
Question 1.
Okay.
So we have,
Go ahead.
it's good enough, and we thought that it would be like, how can I make this better? So never think that, nothing's perfect. So there's always ways that you can improve, there's always ways that you can, make it better.
Absolutely. All right, our final power clap. Ready? 1, 2, 3. You all can grab a seat. Unfortunately, quickly negativity can spread and weigh us down, but that there is hope because we can come along with our positivity and spread that to others. But we have to do some work on our own inner positivity. What's one takeaway maybe we came up with from our posters when it comes to these negative thoughts that weigh us down and ways that we can change them? Does anyone have any aha moments while filling any of this out? Yes.
It's really all up to you. Life might throw you some curveballs, but the way that you interpret those, it's all up to you. So if you want to be negative, you'll be negative. But if you want to be positive, you have to work towards it. But it's all a personal choice.
Absolutely, it's our personal choice. Yes.
I think mine was like there was a lot of 12 different negative phrases to be exact, and we all, every single one of us found a way to flip that and turn it into a positive. So it's kind of like take any negative and turn it into a positive.
Absolutely, thank you for sharing. Any other aha moments? Yes.
I just think sometimes we're like our own worst enemy, and so the person that we're the hardest on is ourselves. So like you have to get inside your head and think like when like that one of theirs is like I'm never good enough. Like you have to get in your own head and tell yourself, no, that's not true. I'm gonna do better.
Absolutely, thank you for sharing. To create a positive movement, it can happen with just one, but think of the impact we could have with so many other people coming along this journey with us. What are some ways that we can hold each other accountable to keep these positive mindsets that we demonstrated on our tear sheets? Yes.
If we notice something getting down, build up a little bit of positivity in our life.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing. What other ways can we hold each other accountable in keeping our positive mindsets?
I guess when you hear a friend or someone in your class like talk negatively about themselves, you can ask them questions like, instead of when they say, I give up, you can ask them, what can you do to make it better? Or how are you kind? How are you smart? How are you important? Instead of just letting them think of the topic.
Absolutely. Yes.
I think like part of it's not just bringing somebody up when they're down, but keeping them up when they are up, and just, you know, I think it's always good to have that one person that, you know, no matter whether you do something bad or something good, they're always there like there.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing. All right. Thanks for diving into that and really digging deep. Does everyone still have our note card we started out, or can locate the white note card? All right. Let's take the next few seconds to locate that note card and also grab our writing utensil. So at the very beginning of our time here together today, we identified that positive force in our life, a positive person. What we will do is we will take the next minute to minute and a half to write down 3 characteristics that we see in that person that we can adopt ourselves to help spread positivity to others. Let's keep in mind that these are ours to keep. We won't be sharing this, so make it as personal, as vulnerable as you want to help serve as a reminder of what we covered here today. What questions do we have before we start?
Can you repeat that?
So you identified that key person in your life who's that positive force. What we're going to do is identify 3 key characteristics that they have, or maybe that we've gathered here today, that we can take with us to be that positive force in others' lives. What questions do we have? All right, let's begin our minute and a half right now. Once we have finished our cards, just throw a thumb up in the air. All right. Let's keep this with us to serve as a reminder of what we've learned here today, that being a positive influence has to start with us changing those mindsets, taking those negative words that we say to ourselves, putting a spin on it that will eventually spread to everyone and create this awesome movement of positivity. Thanks, y'all. Let's be sure to clean up everything and tidy our area before we depart today. And after that, we're dismissed. Thanks.